to understand what happened to Lee German when he had the crash at the Japan Grand Prix is to get some understanding to how the new Formula One regulation works. Now, in the 2020 season, teams are expected to use a 1.6 liter V6 engine, which is paired to an NGUK energy power source, or whatever it is. Now, what this means is that the 1.6 liter would split their power 50-50 with the MGU, which stands for the motor generator unit kinetic. And what this does is that when the drivers brake, that is when they are driving and they step on their brakes, now there's this energy that is being recovered from that braking, and that is the kinetic energy. And this in turn turns into electricity, which gives the car more power. And yeah, in the process, of course, gives it better performance. And yes, shares the same power with, of course, ICE, that is internal combustion engine. But the sad thing about this is that as highly performative as the electric motor is, it doesn't really last long. As fast as it comes, it's the same way as fast as it goes. So it takes time to recover. And as such, where the error was, or where the mistake happened was, so Ole Behrman had some power in his electric motor, and at the same time, the person who was chasing, that was Franco Colapinto of the Alpine, had just depleted his. So there was no much speed. How do you say it? The difference in the speed was so much, and so two of them were not actually racing at the same pace. So it got to a time when Ole Behrman had to overtake Franco Colapinto, but because he was so close and Franco was not keeping up with his speed, and Ole Behrman was coming in too fast, in order to avoid colliding with Franco, he had to swerve, and he ran into the barrier with that high speed, thereby hitting 50 Gs. And as a human, hitting 50 Gs, that is a lot. I'm surprised he came out, without a scratch. It's crazy. So yeah, and because of this, the Formula One regulations or the Formula One management has been backlashed by fans, saying they need to look into their new regulation, whereby electricity will be the new form, or rather electrical power. And if you actually think about it, I mean, that's why we have the Formula E. So if you're saying Formula One cars should run on electrical motors, then what happens to Formula E? It means that their purpose is being defeated. And all of this is so that in the long run, Formula One will be independent of, internal combustion engine and run solely on electric motors. But it's not really looking as the case as, it was almost going to be terrible in Japan. But, well, now the FIA has come out to say, okay, in the month of April, they are going to sit down, they'll have meetings, they're going to do a review of their regulations and see how they can, improve on these regulations, to see how this helps the teams, so that incident of Ole Behrman does not repeat itself again. And I really wish they come up with something innovative that helps the teams and the cars in the long run. Max Verstappen, is rumored that Max Verstappen is going to retire at the end of the season if there are no changes, because it's really frustrating. It feels like the performance comes more from the car rather than the drivers. So the drivers hope that the cars do not fail them when driving, and it shouldn't be. So we're really hoping that the FIA look into these things and see how they can come up with better strategy for the cars and for Formula One overall.